then this is going to come down to an offensive line that's not very good. And that's kind of where it's at. And if the Cowboys can figure out a way okay, let me put it this way. Last week you were dealing with like all Pro Bowl type players kind of across the board there for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you're thinking like, okay, we'll go after Tyler Steen here. That would be the guy that you attack. You really can with no Andrew Thomas. And I was talking to some folks at the Giants today. He didn't practice, so likely not to play. They're going to try the whole ramp-up period and all that. They're trying to get him ready, but my guys are saying if he didn't practice today, we'll see what happens the next couple of days, but their indications were that he's probably not going to play. So he is the starting left tackle, but James Hudson is having to play for him at the left tackle spot. But it's really going to be kind of like, who would you like to attack? I feel like, though, the center, John Michael Schmitz, is the way to go here. And I feel like you can do it with our guy Clark. I think that Kenny Clark, he's the problem that John Michael Schmitz has as a center is he's a little bit undersized. He doesn't handle power very well. And if you attack his snap hand, and I mean his right hand, he has a hard time controlling somebody with his left and then getting the right hand up fast enough to be able to. So you'll see people kind of wear him out on the right side of his body because he can't handle the power. I saw media already saying they're going to need to find a new center after this season. Yeah, it's been a struggle. He's a good athlete, but he just does not play with much power, and he struggles with people. I would try and match him up as one-on-one as much as you can with somebody. Don't let him be uncovered. There was a couple of times where the Commanders left him, and that way he could slide over and help and do those things. Make this guy have to play in this football game. That would be your center, John Michael Schmitz, and they need to put somebody over him and just wear him out in this football game, especially in passing situations. When you look at the I think the running game here, Chief talked about it. I think Tyrone Tracy's a good player. I think he's a good back. I wouldn't be surprised this week if you see more Cam Skattebo. And that's the rookie from Arizona State. Third on the depth chart right now behind Singletary, right? Singletary. It's Tracy and Singletary. And they put Skattebo in the game against the Commanders, and they used him as a receiver. They used him on the outside. But Chief was talking about it. There is like contact at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage. The Giants just get absolutely no push with their front, even with the blocks, the combo blocks. We saw some Dallas, with Dallas and the way they were blocking Philadelphia, those combo blocks, they're moving guys, they're turning guys, they're getting, they're giving their backs opportunity to get up the field. The Giants don't do that. And really, it kind of falls on Tracy. They hand him the ball, and then there's just nowhere to go. But I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see more Cam Skattebo, just because he can make guys miss a little bit easier, I think, if they're not blocking well, and he can also run through arm tackles. So you got to make sure that I thought the Commanders did a really nice job of attacking the line of scrimmage, playing in the gaps, and then getting their guys on the ground when they had the opportunity. Russell Wilson is a quarterback. He used to be one of the best off-platform throwers. When your feet aren't set and you're kind of moving, you're kind of backing up and then you're throwing the ball down the field. He's lost that ability. He's lost the ability to make those throws where he's a little bit off balance. He's throwing off the back foot. But there's some the thing that, and I remember asking Rod Marinelli about this when you played Russell Wilson back in the day in Seattle. And I think Matt Eberflus is going to try and do the same thing because Matt worked with Rod. He was here for those Seattle games, so he kind of understands how to play this guy. You got to make him play in the well. You got to make him back up and play backwards. Make him, because he's a shorter guy, make him have to throw over the top of the defense. I mean, throw over the top of the defensive line. Pressure in his face is hard for him to deal with.
Looked like he just laid down a couple of times against Washington.
There was a time
I got nothing here.
They brought a blitz on the outside, and he was trying to throw it out, and he just thought he was going to get hit, and he crumpled. He threw it sidearm, and it was short. They did not. He's not going to throw intermediate balls, like that 10 to 15 yard pass. He's not going to throw it in the middle of the field. He just can't see to make those throws. And they've got a couple of receivers when you talk about with Neighbors and Slayton. Wan'Dale Robinson's kind of their third down guy when he comes in, but they'll put him in the backfield and run him in these routes and stuff. But everything in that Commanders game was kind of outside the numbers. Very, very rarely was there any throws that were going down the field. So it's pressure in his face, but you got to be mindful of he's the quality thing that he can do is he could get small in the pocket and then kind of find a way to run through the middle of the pocket.
Yeah.
You're not going to get him on the outside. He tried to score on a play, a scramble to the outside, got whacked, fumbled the ball. They almost lost the ball and like they're going in on the Commander 3-yard line, but he recovered the ball. But where you've got to, when you get him trapped in the pocket, you've got to make sure you wrap him up. You just can't let him slide forward, get small, hit the gap, and then run on you that way. The question you have to ask yourself, and I've been asking to people all day, if they didn't spy Jalen Hurts, are they going to spy this guy?
No way.
No way. Mm-hmm. There's no way that happens. Mm-hmm. So, let's see. But you saw...
He can't really crush you with his legs anymore.
He can run. He runs well enough to
extend
a play. But like I was telling you, if you make him play where he's not going forward, if he's going backwards, that's where he just can't make those throws that he once did. He'd go backwards and throw that moon ball, and it would get down the field, and somebody would make a miraculous catch. He just doesn't have that ability anymore. And so, to me, it's going to be about like Clark, others, middle of the pocket, John Michael Schmitz attacking him. Make sure that Russell Wilson keep the eye level down on him and then squeeze it, but don't let him escape. He's not going to run around the edge. He's going to escape through the middle. That's your best chance, really. This offense, they don't get enough movement in the running game. Their main weapons are Malik Neighbors, who is one of the smoothest route runners you'll ever see. I mean, and they'll bring him in motion. They'll try and run picks for him, try and get him to, give him some space. Him, Wan'Dale Robinson, those are the guys you're going to kind of have to worry about.
Does Robinson have enough to punish you if you're playing Elam or Reddy?
I think
Bland's out.
Yeah, I think with Robinson, they're going to line him up in the backfield. They're going to put him like in bunch formation. They're going to play him in the slot. They're going to play Neighbors in the slot. If if it's a situation, they're in a little bit of a bind right now because without Bland to play the nickel, who is going to be that guy? Because you're going to get Elam, you're going to get Diggs, and now who is your nickel? It's probably going to be, you're right, it's probably going to be Stewart playing the nickel spot, but he's a quick guy, but can he stay with? That's the thing that, that's the game. Can he hang with running with Robinson? Can he hang with Neighbors? If I'm the Giants, I put Neighbors in the slot and try and keep him away from
Diggs.
Yeah, but what you might see, though, if Elam playing in this game and the Giants kind of realizing that, the one big pass play, what happened? The Eagles ran the two verticals, and then they held Hooker in the middle of the field, and then got Elam one-on-one on the inside, and that's where Dotson made the big long play. Mm-hmm. So maybe if they're going to try and hit on some deep balls, it would be if Elam now having to start for Bland in this game.
Is it a must double Neighbors situation?
I think that, to me, you've got to be very mindful where Neighbors is. But I think your pressure is going to be good enough in this game to be able to affect. I think Russell Wilson's going to try and get the ball out as quickly as possible in this game. And this is even without a Michael Parsons in the game. But Dallas can attack, like I say, a couple different spots. The John Michael Schmitz. They could also attack Jermaine Elamanior. They could attack him. He's a guy that's got a good pass set, but he gets carried back into the pocket. Both these tackles just get carried back to the quarterback. And so that's where it's going to have to come down for the Cowboys. The ball's going to come out quick. If they're going to play a lot of zone coverage, I think they probably will. We saw a lot of zone last week. So, that's probably, a little bit more of the MO with Eberflus wants to play a little bit more zone, and especially with no Bland in the game, that might be something else he's probably interested in doing.
Right on, Brian.
Thank you.